It's not yet today, Chair.
But you had 9 are panelists, 3 are attendees.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ridwan Hassan, Chairman of the Board of Directors of Growthpoint Properties Limited. It gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone present to this 36th Annual General Meeting of Growthpoint's shareholders. This meeting will be conducted via electronic participation in terms of the provisions of the Companies Act 71 of 2008 as amended, and the company's Memorandum of Incorporation, the MOI. Here are a few pointers on how to navigate the Zoom meeting platform. 1. Shareholders who would like to pose questions, please click on the Q&A icon on the bottom of your screen, followed by your question, and press Enter or Send. Alternatively, if you would like to address the meeting directly, please click on the Raise Your Hand icon. Once the chairman has identified you, your microphone will be unmuted and you will be able to address the meeting. My colleague, Lauren Turner, will deal with the logistics in relation to questions. All questions and comments will be addressed after all the resolutions have been put to the meeting. The results of the poll will be announced before the close of the formal business of the meeting. Please note that the meeting proceedings are being recorded. In terms of the company's MOI, a quorum for an annual general meeting is at least 3 shareholders entitled to attend and vote, present in person or represented either by proxy or letter of representation, holding in aggregate at least 25% of the voting rights. This minimum quorum must be maintained for any matters in the notice to be proposed and dealt with. Such quorum is sufficient for the passing of a special resolution in terms of the Companies Act, provided that a majority of at least 75% of the total number of votes represented at the meeting must vote in favor of the special resolution for it to pass. Notice of the meeting has been given in the prescribed manner, and a quorum exceeding the minimum requirements is present. On that basis, I declare this annual general meeting duly constituted. The notice of the meeting has been distributed to members. It contains the supporting information, including the summarized audited annual financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2024. I propose that the notice of this annual general meeting and the supplementary information in the notice be taken as read. Is that agreed? Thank you. Questions on any matters pertaining to the notice of this meeting will be taken and dealt with by management or members of the board as appropriate after all the resolutions have been put to the meeting. In terms of the company's MOI, I propose that the voting on all resolutions be conducted by way of poll. I draw to your attention that this is a shareholders' meeting. Therefore, I remind attendees that only registered holders of Growthpoint shares as of the record date for this meeting or their duly appointed representatives or proxies are entitled to participate in this process. The record date for this meeting was Friday, 15 November 2024. At the end of the meeting, once we have dealt with every item in the notice, I shall request that you record your votes on all of the proposed resolutions. Please note that only shareholders who are in possession of a valid proxy, which has been filed in accordance with the notice of meeting, or shareholders who are reflected in the share register, or who are in possession of a written letter of representation, are entitled to speak and vote at this meeting. Any person not so entitled may pose questions after the conclusion of the meeting. To cast your vote electronically, please note the following. All shareholders or their representatives who have requested to vote would have received a link to the voting platform to either their mobile number or email address. Please click on the Vote Now link and it will direct you to the voting platform. You will notice that the voting platform contains all the resolutions which have been published in the notice of meeting, with your votes automatically defaulted to abstain. You may vote on all the resolutions simultaneously by defaulting all your votes as for, against, or abstain, and then clicking on the Submit button at the bottom of the electronic ballot form. You may also indicate your votes individually per resolution by selecting the relevant option, for, against, or abstain, on a resolution-by-resolution basis. Once you have voted on all the resolutions, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Submit. A message will pop up on your screen confirming that your votes have been received. Please note, once you click Submit, your votes cannot be retracted and re-voted. As such, please ensure that you have selected the correct option on a resolution for, against, or abstain. I propose that the Transfer Secretaries JSE Investor Services Pty Limited and the Meeting Specialists TMS be appointed as voting scrutineers. Is this agreed? Thank you. Are there any questions regarding the process? No, Lauren. Thank you. We shall now proceed with the business of the meeting. The company's summarized audited annual financial statements for the year ended 30 June 2024 and the notice of this meeting were distributed to shareholders. Amongst other matters, the integrated report contains information on governance, sustainability, and social responsibility. Copies of the comprehensive group annual financial statements are available at this meeting. They have also been available on the company's website since the end of September 2024. May I take the summarized audited 2024 group annual financial statements in the report as read? I propose that the group annual financial statements for the 12 months ended 30 June 2024 as presented and approved by the board be accepted. Agreed, thank you. The chairman of the audit committee, Mr. Malt Haman, is present to answer questions, if any, on the audit committee's activity during the past financial year. We will now display the resolutions one by one. Please be reminded that we shall respond to questions at the end of posing all resolutions. Each of the following ordinary resolutions requires the support of at least 50% plus one vote of the votes exercised in order to be adopted. Ordinary resolutions 1.4.1, 1.4.2, and 1.7 require the support of at least 75% of the votes held by shareholders present or represented by proxy at the meeting. Item 1.1, re-election of retiring non-executive directors. The MOI of the company requires 1/3 or a number closest to 1/3 of the non-executive directors to retire by rotation at an AGM. Directors retiring in this manner and any standing for election pursuant to appointment by the board to fill a casual vacancy remain eligible and may hold themselves for election or re-election as directors. The resolution is to re-elect by individual resolutions the following non-executive directors who are to retire at the meeting, but being eligible, offer themselves for re-election. 1.1.1, Mr. M. Haman as independent non-executive director. 1.1.2, Mr. C.D. Rapiri as independent non-executive director. The Governance and Nomination Committee recommends and the board supports the re-election of both Mr. Haman and Mr. Rapiri. Their brief CVs appear on page 18 of the Integrated Annual Report, the IAR. Will someone please propose that Mr. M. Haman be re-elected as a director? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Will someone propose that Mr. C.D. Rapiri be re-elected as a director? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.2, election of audit committee members. In terms of the Companies Act, each year, shareholders at the annual general meeting are required to elect an audit committee for the period until the company's next annual general meeting, save for the board's filling of any vacancy that might arise on the committee within 40 days of any vacancy arising. The board recommends the re-election of the audit committee members on an individual basis, considering their qualifications and suitability for their roles as such. The audit committee and its members have access to adequate resources, including the internal and external auditors and experienced members of management, all of whom attend audit committee meetings. Will someone please propose that Mr. M. Haman be re-elected as a member of the audit committee, subject to the passing of resolution 1.1.1? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Will someone propose that Mr. F. M. Barkley be re-elected as a member of the audit committee? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Will someone propose that Mrs. K. P. Labina be re-elected as a member of the audit committee? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Will someone propose that Mr. C.D. Rapiri be elected as a member of the audit committee, subject to the passing of resolution 1.1.2? Thank you. Someone propose. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Will someone propose that Mr. A.H. Sanko be re-elected as a member of the audit committee? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.3, reappointment of external auditor. In terms of the Companies Act, shareholders at the AGM each year are required to appoint or reappoint an external auditor. Growthpoint's audit committee, with the board's support, recommends the reappointment of EY and Mrs. R. Kalane as the engagement partner at this meeting for the period ending at the AGM to be held in 2025. Will someone please propose the reappointment of EY as the company's external auditor for the period until the company's next annual general meeting? Thank you. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.4, advisory, non-binding approval of remuneration policy and implementation report. Item 1.4.1, non-binding advisory approval of remuneration policy. This is an ordinary resolution requiring 75% approval. Shareholders' approval at annual general meetings on an advisory, non-binding basis of the company's remuneration policy is a recommendation of the King IV report on corporate governance for South Africa, which was applicable at the time of issue of the notice of this AGM. Will someone please propose the approval on an advisory, non-binding basis of the company's remuneration policy on base salary, benefits, short and long-term incentives and fees as set out on pages 152 to 157 of the IAR. Will someone please second, will somebody please propose? Thank you. Will someone please second the motion? Thank you. Item 1.4.2, implementation of remuneration policy. This is an ordinary resolution requiring 75%. Shareholders' approval at AGMs on an advisory, non-binding basis of the implementation of the company's remuneration policy is a recommendation of the King IV report on corporate governance for South Africa, which was applicable at the time of issue of the notice of this AGM. Will someone please propose the approval on an advisory, non-binding basis of the implementation of the company's remuneration policy as set out in the IAR from page 158. Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.5, general authority to place the unissued shares under the control of the directors. In terms of the company's MOI, shareholders are required to approve the placement of unissued ordinary shares under the control of the directors to ensure that the company has optimal flexibility in utilizing and managing its capital resources. The authority will be subject to the Companies Act, the listings requirements, and the restrictions imposed by the company's MOI. In line with best practice, the directors have elected to seek renewal of the company's authority to issue ordinary unissued shares. Also, an issue of new shares may not exceed 5% of the total number of shares in issue as at the date of the notice of this meeting. Will someone please propose the ordinary resolution as contained in item 1.5 of the notice of the meeting? Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.6, specific authority to issue ordinary shares in terms of distribution reinvestment alternatives, the DRIP, if and when afforded to shareholders. Will someone please propose the ordinary resolution for item 1.6 of the notice of the meeting? Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.7, general but restricted authority to issue shares for cash. I would like to point out that this authority requires at least 75% of the votes held by shareholders present or represented to be cast in favor of this resolution for it to be carried. This authority will be limited to an issue in any one financial year of not more than 5% of the ordinary shares in issue at the date of the notice of this meeting and will expire at the next AGM if not renewed then. Will someone please propose the ordinary resolution as set out in item 1.7 of the notice of the meeting? Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Item 1.8, to receive and accept the report of the Social Ethics and Transformation Committee. To receive and accept the report of the Social Ethics and Transformation Committee for financial year 2024 as contained on page 12 and 13 of the ESG report. May we take this report as read? Thank you. Will someone propose the acceptance of the Social Ethics and Transformation Committee's 2024 report to shareholders? Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. We will now deal with the special resolutions in the notice. Item 2.1, non-executive directors' remuneration. Section 66(9) of the Companies Act requires shareholders at the annual general meeting each year to approve non-executive directors' fees by special resolution. The board has recommended for approval by shareholders a 5.5% increase in non-executive director remuneration for the financial year ended 30 June 2025. The board proposes the non-executive directors' fees per the notice for the financial year ending 30 June 2025. A majority of at least 75% of the total number of votes represented at the meeting must vote in favor of this special resolution in order for it to be carried. However, this special resolution need not be filed with the company's Intellectual and Property Commission, the CIPC. Will someone please propose the special resolution as set out in item 2.1 of the notice? Will someone please second the motion? Thank you. Item 2.2, financial assistance in terms of Section 44 of the Companies Act. The reason for and the effect of this special resolution are as follows. In terms of the Companies Act, the board may authorize a company to provide financial assistance to any related company within the meaning of Section 44(1) and 2 of the Companies Act by way of a loan, guarantee, the provision of security, or otherwise to the company or related company or interrelated company for the purpose of or in connection with the subscription for any option or any securities issued or to be issued by the company or a related or interrelated company, or for the purchase of any securities of the company or a related or interrelated company, provided that such assistance is approved by way of a special resolution of the shareholders approved within the previous 2 years, and certain requirements set out in the Companies Act are met, including inter alia, that the board is satisfied that immediately after providing the financial assistance, the company would satisfy the solvency and liquidity test. We note that in terms of Section 44(3) of the Companies Act, notwithstanding the approval of financial assistance in terms of a special resolution, the board may only authorize financial assistance inter alia if the board is satisfied that the terms under which the financial assistance is proposed to be given are fair and reasonable to the company. A majority of at least 75% of the total number of votes represented at the meeting must vote in favor of this special resolution in order for it to be carried. However, this special resolution need not be filed with the CIPC. Will someone please propose the special resolution as set out in item 2.2 of the notice? Will someone please second the motion? Thank you. Item 2.3, financial assistance in terms of Section 45 of the Companies Act. The reason for and the effect of the special resolution are as follows. To the extent necessary under Section 45 of the Companies Act to confirm financial assistance to related or interrelated companies granted during the financial year ended 30 June 2024, and to approve and authorize the board to give effect to any financial assistance contemplated in Section 45 of the Companies Act as it deems appropriate to implement during the 2-year period ended 26 November 2026. We note that although the form and purpose of financial assistance are not limited by Section 45 of the Companies Act, in terms of Section 45(3), notwithstanding the approval in terms of a special resolution, the board may only authorize financial assistance inter alia if the board is satisfied that the terms under which the financial assistance is proposed to be given are fair and reasonable to the company. Details of in-force intercompany loans appear in Annexure 5 on page 63 of the AGM notice. A majority of at least 75% of the total number of votes represented at the meeting must vote in favor of this special resolution in order for it to be carried. However, this special resolution need not be filed with the CIPC. Will someone please propose the special resolution as set out in item 2.3 of the notice? Will someone please second the motion? Thank you. Item 2.4, general authority for the repurchase of the company's ordinary shares. The reason for and the effect of the special resolution are to permit the company or any of its subsidiaries by way of a general approval to buy back ordinary shares issued by the company as and when suitable opportunities do arise. The resolution proposed in the notice provides for a repurchase of up to a maximum of 10% of the company's issued shares. A majority of at least 75% of the total number of votes represented at the meeting must vote in favor of this special resolution in order for it to be carried. However, this special resolution need not be filed with the CIPC. Will someone please propose a special resolution as contained in item 2.4 of the notice, subject to the limitation undertaken by the company? Will someone please second the proposal? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now respond to all questions from shareholders in relation to the ordinary and special resolutions contained in the notice. If you have any questions pertaining to a particular resolution, please pose your question by clicking on the Q&A icon to ask questions or the raise your hand icon if you would like to address the meeting. Questions will be answered by a member of the board or senior management who may be best suited to answer your questions. I hand over to Lauren to find out if there are any questions.
At this stage, there are no questions, Chair.
Thank you, Lauren.
Chair, we had a raised hand from one of the shareholders. They seem to have put it down now.
Anybody like to raise a question?
I see Leon has his hand up.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, hello everybody. My question that I have is not directly related to the voting, it is more general of nature. So if you want to deal with it now, we can. If you want to wait a bit longer, I'll wait.
We may deal with it now.
Okay, through the chair, thank you very much. I'm going to ask if it's at all possible, the notice for this AGM was a document of about 70 pages long. Is there any way that we can display page number 64? And while that is being done, can I ask the chair, in 1,000 words or less, please, a definition of your company's retail shareholder, just while we're looking for this stuff.
Lauren, do you want to go at that?
Yes, sure, Chair. A retail shareholder would be an individual shareholder, not an institutional shareholder.
Okay, so if we're looking at page 64 of that document, Annexure 6 it is, then you will see in it's got the shareholder spread and then the description of the shareholders, two parts. It indicates that you have 24 retail shareholders holding 100 and something million shares, which I roughly work out to be just under 5 million shares per shareholder. That seemingly does, and then above that you've got 20-something thousand sovereign wealth funds. A little further below that you've got 825 organs of state. Now these numbers don't accord with your shareholder spread at the top of the page, where your indication of people owning more than 1 million shares is a couple of hundred. So I'm just wondering, that doesn't make sense to me. If your retail shareholders have an average of nearly 5 million shares, who's going to buy and sell their shares if I try to sell mine? And I certainly don't have 5 million of your shares. Something's not right there. Can we get some clarity?
Do you want to have a go?
Leon, I think we would need to come back to you if okay. I would also suspect that retail shareholders are sitting in stockbrokers and nominees. Not only on the retail shareholder line, but if you would allow me just to do some investigating, I don't have the answers on hand, and I'll come back to you. If you could please just pop your contact details into the chat group so I can come back.
Yeah, no problem. Otherwise, the good people at TMS have all my details there too.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks for the question, Leon, and we will revert in due course.
Okay, sorry, a second part to that then is, if there is information that's mistaken, that how does this get corrected? Does it get corrected? Are there other implications?
We can certainly correct it. We can issue a SENS announcement to update it if there is a mistake. And update it on the website. So we'll investigate, and if there is an error, we will certainly correct it.
All right, thanks. I'll wait for your feedback. Thank you very much. That's me out.
Okay, thank you, Leon. Any questions, Lauren?
No further questions online.
Okay, thanks for your participation. I would like to remind shareholders voting electronically to please click on the voting link and cast your votes if you have not done so already. If you are registered to vote but have not received your voting link via email or SMS, please inform the moderator via the Q&A mechanism. Are there any shareholders who would still like to exercise their votes?
Chair, we have received all the votes, so you may proceed.
Thank you very much. Voting is now closed. Thank you. We will now proceed with displaying the results for each resolution which has been tabled at this meeting. Okay, ordinary resolution 1.1.1 is passed. 1.1.2 is passed, 1.2.1 is passed, 1.2.2 is passed, 1.2.3 is passed, 1.2.4 is passed, 1.2.5 is passed, 1.3 is passed, 1.4.1 is passed.
The top right, Chair.
Yeah. Thank you. 1.4.2 passed, 1.5 passed, 1.6 passed, 1.7 passed, 1.8 passed, 2.1 is passed, 2.2 is passed, 2.3 is passed, and 2.4 is passed. The results of this annual general meeting will be announced on SENS as soon as possible to ensure disclosure to all shareholders. Since there is no further business to be dealt with at this meeting, I declare it closed and thank you for your attendance and participation. Good morning, everybody.